Hello lovelies, this is just a little intro, little heads up for this video, and I wanted you to have some kind of visual. So here's my cat Lily. Say hello, Lily. You might notice as you go through that there's a lot of edits. For 3 piles, I think I had 11 edits. The software on my computer was just not letting me, for some reason, record past 3 minutes. So I'm doing everything I can to make sure, and I will make sure that it's as streamlined as possible. But I did want to give you a little intro and a little heads up to let you know. But I really wanted to get these messages out for you. So I persevered over a couple of hours and put everything together for you. But if you see things being spliced together, that's the reason why. I wasn't just going off to the toilet every 2 minutes or something like that. So anyway, that's the intro. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Now we are going to go right into this reading. Say bye-bye, Lily. Lily, say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hello there, loves. Welcome back. I hope everybody is doing well out there. Welcome to everybody, whether you are brand new, whether this is your first time clicking on this video, or you are returning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got a couple of opportunities for you today. A bunch of people have been getting in touch with me over the last couple of weeks and saying that they bought my book and they absolutely love it. Thank you. I am so appreciative and grateful and humbled. And I was thinking, if any of you who have read the book and would be willing to take your wonderful comments and turn it into a review, I would happily give you a 1 to 2 card reading, be as specific as you want, for free. I'm very grateful, and I do understand that everybody has only a certain amount of time because everybody's running around and dealing with whatever it is that they're dealing with. I'm very conscious of that. So if anybody who has purchased the book and again wants to turn all those beautiful comments, whether you've gotten in touch with me or not, into a review and would be interested in trading that review in for a 1 or 2 card reading, hit me up on the comments below. The book Healing Witchcraft in a Conformist World is actually available worldwide on Amazon. So no matter where you live in the world, you should be able to write a review. And I also want to say welcome to all the new members that came in and started the 21-day Unicorn Abundance, our beautiful course for your inner child, being badass, getting back to your magic, a lot of healing and reclaiming your power. If you're interested, the course is still open. All the details are below, as well as the Facebook page down below also, which is absolutely wonderful. And I'm hearing some great stuff. You guys are having a wild time, and I'm really excited for you. All right, so those are a couple of opportunities to heal and do some other stuff and just get out there and be the best person you can be. Not that you are not now, of course you are, but who doesn't want a little bit more magic in their life, right? So that's that. So today I thought what we would do is go really crazy with unicorn stuff. I know, even more. And do which enchanted unicorn has a message for you. Which pile, which enchanted unicorn has a message for you. So we're just going to give you some magic, some beauty, see what comes up for you. As always, we have our beautiful healing candle here. I made this healing and abundance oil under the full moon a couple of months ago. It was the eclipse months where we had an eclipse and a full moon at the same time. So you can go ahead and whatever you need to do, concentrate on. Go to the light. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, you can go to the light, project onto the light. We've always set up these sessions for healing also, so you can project whatever you want to release, what old stuff you want to release, what you want to do to move forward, any kind of healing and abundance or pull abundance to you. You can definitely project onto the candle and bring in a little extra magic for you today. So we have pile 1, 2, and 3, and as always, take as much time as you need to really align yourself with the energy. The more you can sort of like, not necessarily meditate, but get in line and get aligned and really get back into your energy. The more you connect with these readings, the more that they resonate with you. So if you need to go ahead and pause the video and come back after you do your breathing exercises or whatever you want to do, Lamaze exercises, no, that's only if you're pregnant, but regardless, do what you need to do. Always take note of your intuition. We're here with you. If you need to go pause the video, and all the timestamps as always are down below. So today what I thought, for a little extra magic, because we're already channeling the Enchanted Unicorn realm. I mean, what is more romantic or beautiful or magical than that? But I thought, to do some witch runes on top of that would give a little extra magic. So our first rune here is the connectedness rune on pile 1, part 1. Yes, part 1 of your documentary. Now on pile 1 we have the connectedness rune here, and then we have the protective eye here on pile 2. And then we have moon magic, the sign of the goddess, too, part of it, as you can see with my hand. So whichever one is calling your name or calling to you, then that is the one you shall choose. And of course, how many you want to choose, if more than one is calling to you, that's totally fine too. There's no right or wrong way to really work with these energies. It's exactly how you feel. So let's just put these aside for now. And we shall get back with them soon. So if you chose pile 1 and you chose the connectedness rune here, we're going to put that there. These are your messages from the Enchanted Unicorn realm. So these are your foundational messages. We have the Enchanted Unicorn deck, the first 2, and then 2 tarots at the bottom, so we can give you an overall sort of foundation. Then we'll get you some more messages. And again, just to remind you, we're setting this up for healing also, so make sure that project anything that you want to release, or just move into, pull in abundance, whatever you need to do with the magical candle. That's totally up to you to use at your own will. So let's see what we have here. Love without judgment, that's number 1. These are really beautiful cards. I want you to have a look at that. And then we have invention, brilliant new ideas. Okay. And then we have the 7 of Staves here. And then we have the Prince of Cups here, reversed. Okay, so the first thing that I have for you from the Enchanted beautiful kingdom of the unicorn is just lighten up pile 1. Lighten up. I know, you can be a little bit serious sometimes, and I know there's things that you want, and I know that you are close to getting it. Sometimes we need to give ourselves some space, because you have a very clear idea of not only what you want, but somehow what it's going to look like. And I feel as though we're just going to do a little bit of real talk here, pile 1. I feel as though you're being your own worst enemy at this point. I think right now, it feels as though, you have everything going for you, and yet you're still being very hard on yourself. I feel as though, these are general messages, I feel like for a lot of you, you are looking to your new beginning. You've done a lot of work, you've done a lot of shedding, you're ready for that new beginning. And you are genuinely ready for it, absolutely. You've got these new ideas. Either the new ideas are not taking off as quickly as you think, or they're not giving you the results that you believe that you deserve. And you're not coming from the ego. It's got nothing to do with that. You have a lot of stuff that's going on in your brain too. Your brain is looping round and round with all sorts of different things. And you're also being hard on yourself. If you recently decided to put something out there, or there seems to be a little bit of a worry around, or hesitation around, either a business, either you just started a new business, and it's right in the brand new stages, or you're about to start a new business, and it's not quite at the taking off stage, but you're ready to sort of launch. You're being a little hard on yourself. You're not giving the space to allow the magic to happen. You know, the one thing that I keep getting, the mantra that I keep getting for you is that, you know, the journey should be enjoyable. Getting back, excuse me, to the joy of the journey is really important. You're focused on what it is that you want to achieve. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with anything that you do. There's no judgment, but sometimes you fixate on the sort of end result. And if that end result doesn't look like it's on its way to you, then you get discouraged. You tend to get discouraged very easily. You have this wild imagination. You're sensitive, you're empathic, you're beautiful. You have this incredible imagination, and in some ways you're extremely expansive. Your mind can go from A to like Z in a second, extremely expansive. But then when you actually get practical and you take that expansiveness into something that you're actually doing, and that expansiveness isn't reflected back to you immediately, you get discouraged, and then you get really down on yourself, and then you start doubting yourself, and then that doubt starts seeping into other areas that sort of connect to the business or connect to the original sort of source of the doubt, and then you start sort of like getting a little bit grumpy, and then you sort of disable your power a little bit, and we don't want you to do that. There's no reason for you to do that. I can tell you, if you have chosen pile 1 and you chose the connectedness, because really at the end of the day, there's a few things that are going on here. We can give you some practical advice to get back on track. And you're not really off track at all. It's just a tweak in your perspective. That's all you need. First of all, please stop being so hard on yourself. And you know what's happening. If you're resonating with this and you know this is you, you know that you do this. The first thing you do is you get judgmental on yourself, right? You get hard on yourself. And then you notice that you're sort of judging others, or you're a little spurnickety. Is that a word? Spurnickety. You're a little short with others. You sort of take on a little bit of that, you know, little sort of frustrating energy when normally you would be really easygoing and sort of let that go. You know, sort of like a dog with a bone, because you are internally not being so great with yourself and being judgmental, that really does go to the external. And then you get more frustrated with yourself because, you know, you're sort of highlighting these really small things that really don't mean anything. And normally you're much more easygoing and grounded about that stuff, but you're taking it on, at least in your mind. And then you're perpetuating this sort of round and round and round, and it takes you further away from your magic of what you're doing. Now, if you're here, again, there's 2 things that we can help you with specifically. Remind yourself why you're doing this, again, with the connectedness. You're doing this to be of the light. You're doing this to connect, right? Your heart and soul is absolutely in the right place. You've done all the work to get you where you need to be. There's nothing else that needs to be done. There's no more courses that needs to be done. There's no more looking into the darkness that needs to be done. Whatever your idea is, and this seems to be more of a career thing, or more of a movement forward, being out in the world the way that you want to, specifically for pile 1. There's no more that you need to do, except for if you just really reach back into your soul and remind yourself that you're doing this to be of the light, to build a community, and to be part of that community, and to stand for that community, then it will relax the need to have everything work out completely, totally fine right now. It'll bring you back into the expansiveness of your heart. So that can absolutely help. And also the judgment factor. When you start judging yourself and you start noticing that you're getting a little spurnickety, I'm going to have to look this word up. Spurnickety. No, I feel like that's not a place in New Jersey, is it? No, I swear. You know what I mean. When you're getting a little nitpicky, we'll just go with that for now. When you're getting a little nitpicky with other people, that means that you're doing it internally. It's just a mirror of what's going on. And if it's starting to piss you off a little bit, then you know to relax on yourself. Just be nice to yourself when the external starts coming back and you're starting being a little judgy, you know. Yeah, it's not even judgy with the external. You're more judgy with yourself. You just kind of let things bother you a little bit more than you wouldn't. That is a sign that you just need to return to self, be nice to self, release those inner judgments, come back to your grounded connectedness self, the reason why you're doing things, and then give yourself the expansiveness that you need to allow the magic to happen. Remember, the journey is important. Have faith in yourself. You've done everything that you need to do. There's nothing more that you need to do. Stop fighting yourself on this. And if you are, you know, again, we always say a unicorn like tarot, you know, even if you're resonating with this, there's several different aspects, several different parts of this down the path. You know, maybe you haven't started your business yet, or you're thinking about doing something and you're already at the stage where you know you can do it and you feel it, but you're doubting. You're doubting. You put that doubt. Will it take off? Will this happen? Will that happen? Do I have enough of this? This is your answer. If you are in and around this energy right now, your answer is yes. Everything will be fine. Go in with an expansive heart. Be you. Be authentic. Don't worry about it. Please, you know, it's not that, I'm not saying that anything can't take off and you can get, you know, 1 million new clients overnight. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that allow for the journey and allow for the growth. There's something beautiful in the growth and the journey of getting you up there and keeping that thought, that beauty, you know, a little vision board for you of how many people you want to be able to work with it specifically, and really keep that thought in mind, because, you know, you could start off really slowly and then, you know, the next month you could bump up to 3 times as much. You know, stop judging yourself on the external to try to figure out and ascertain if you're doing enough. Trust me, you're doing enough. Whatever idea you have to get yourself out there is going to be a humdinger. It's going to be a home run. But just give yourself that time, that magic, that beautiful to get yourself there. That space. You know, you've set it up. You've done the hard work. All right, so we've got the unicorn cards coming in too. Let's get you some more information. Archangel Michael, use the sword of truth to help the world. Yes, again, well, you know, your guides have brought you here too. They're not going to bring you to this point to have you, you know, to let you down in any way. You can speak to your guides and say, you know, I'm having a little bit of trouble. And, you know, and the other thing is, you know, I want to make it really clear, when you put yourself out there in a way, it's normal to have these doubts, because it's not like you're on display or anything, but you're putting yourself out there. You wouldn't be human if you didn't have these doubts. It's totally normal, but it's up to you to put those doubts in perspective so it doesn't start seeping in to what it is that you're doing, and you don't start believing yourself. You know, when you get to the point where you're at the 7 of staves and, you know, you're going round and round and round in your head, and it's taking away from your power and your magic and your belief that it can be something, that's when you know you've gone a little bit too far. Bring back the doubt. I mean, let go of the doubt. Bring back yourself into this magic. Ask your guides. Connect to your guides. You know, if you need like the next baby step, what do I do next to, you know, what ingenious thing can I do, you know, to make this success? Don't be afraid to think outside of the box here, because you guys are ingenious. You have this unique quirkiness to you, and people, the right people, will appreciate that. So don't be afraid of thinking outside of the box here. That'll be great. And again, this is a reminder too. A reminder on 2 sets of things. Number 1, you've done the work. Whatever it is that you think that you are putting out there, yes, it is needed. Absolutely. It's absolutely needed. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. It's absolutely and completely needed, without a shadow of a doubt. You've done enough work, and you're definitely at the point where you can help other people. So you don't need to doubt there. Yeah, your sword of truth, you're absolutely ready to take that to the world without a shadow of a doubt. You're ready. Don't wait another second. And again, remind yourself constantly. Come back to the reminder, and this is really important, why you're here to do it. Yes, success is wonderful. Who doesn't want to pay their rent? Hello, I do. Everybody does. You know, there's no reason to not want success or want to be paid for what you do. And there's no harm in wanting to be paid handsomely for what you do. You know, but really at the end of the day, that's an offshoot. Why you're here is to connect, have that sense of community, and be a light in this world. So come back to that sense of self, that grounding, that seedling that you had from the very beginning. And that is going to absolutely keep you where you need to be. You're going to absolutely have that. And it's going to bring you back to the beauty. This just popped out. Blossoming. Absolutely. I love this card. Look, she's shining out to the world what it is that she does. That is you. So sorry about that. The camera just went a little bit haywire and I had to set up again, but we are getting right back into this. So as we said with the blossoming card, you have everything that you need here, absolutely and completely. This is your past coming into everything that you've learned, into your beautiful uniqueness and quirkiness, and shining your light in your own specific way, taking what it is that you know absolutely, and really channeling it through your own sense of self, your own sense of harmony, your own sense of truth. The world absolutely needs the way in which you speak to people. The world absolutely needs, without a shadow of a doubt. There is definitely a quirkiness, a uniqueness to you. The way in which you approach things might be a little bit different. I can see some of you, if you are thinking about doing a venture, you can call it an adventure, but doing starting a new business, something specific to offer to the public. I can see you saying, not all people would agree with this, but this is where I'm coming from. You're going to bring in new information, and put it out there for people to really understand in a brand new way. And it's absolutely going to be received with, flying colors. People are going to absolutely love it. So, yeah, and that's the other thing. Once you start doubting yourself, the way in which you communicate, you start doubting that. But the way in which you communicate, if you don't overthink it, it's the best way, because that's how you really, really speak to people. And that's how it works for you. So yeah, this process, definitely slow it down, get back to a sense of community, get back to the adventure part of it. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't want to hammer this over your head or anything, because that would be disrespectful. But patience, couldn't have picked a better card for you there, Power One. But with the patience too, she's looking at the world. She's looking at it. She's looking at the moon. Everything is done. She's holding the celebration. She's got the balloon. Everything is ready to go. You don't have to worry about it. You've done absolutely everything. Now it's about giving yourself the space, the expansiveness to let it all fall into place. That's the least that you can do. It's like I just got this sort of vision. It's kind of a strange vision, but a wedding planner setting up the wedding, and then sort of trying to control the wedding. Everything's set up, but is the future wife, is she moving down the aisle quick enough, that sort of thing. It's likening to that. Everything's set up, the rest of it needs to be allow for a little bit of magic. So that's what they're urging you to do. Allow for a little bit of magic. There's nothing wrong with giving yourself a little bit of space. And if you're not thinking about doing a venture per se, and this is more about you presenting yourself in your own way back into the world on your own terms, then really this is just about you being patient with yourself and sort of taking those baby steps, remembering that community, coming out and being part of it, and entering back into the world sort of differently, and definitely on your own terms, but more so sort of without, with profound responsibility for your behavior, for your actions and nobody else's. In the past, you've taken on too much from other people. This is about you getting out there and doing things completely on your own terms. And if you are thinking about some kind of venture, or offering up, yourself as not a product necessarily, but offering up your talents out to the world, this is something that, if this has resonated with you, Pal One, you're definitely ready to do that. There's a myriad of different ways you can do that, absolutely, from tarot to creativity, writing workshops, working with kids, animals, whatever that is. So we have, manifesting money and income. You've got the 555 here. If you've been seeing a lot of 111s or 1111 or 555s, I know I have. This is letting you know that whatever it is that you have decided to do is gonna take off. Just give yourself some time. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to take off. I have no qualms about that. None whatsoever. Let's give you one more of these. This one came out too. Mystic Star. Harmony in the home and great friendships. All of this is going to bring you not just harmony, but it's going to really... Freudian slip. Wow. Literally a Freudian slip on the slip. I was going to say it'll sedate you, but actually what we say, calm down for sure. But no, it'll solidify you. Everything that you're doing right now will solidify you in the world. There's a way that you wanted to see yourself in the world. You need to see yourself like that first before the world recognizes you like that. So just as a reminder, everything that starts within gets projected out. So that means that you really can control, well, not control, but you really can shift and change your perspective at any time. Give yourself that patience, you know, return back to the adventure, the journey, the beauty. Remind yourself how you got there, that you're here for the sense of community. That's exactly why you're here. Give yourself that expansiveness, that space for the magic to happen. Remember, you've aligned yourself this far. Don't try and get into this practicality of controlling now. Allow the alignment to do its magic. Absolutely. Ask for guides and helps in any way that you can. You've got Archangel Michael there working for you. You've also got very powerful guides that have helped you significantly on your journey all the way through as the adventure, to the point where you now can offer that advice and beauty to others. So trust yourself, trust everything, and trust your path, and trust exactly where you are. It's an absolutely beautiful place for you to be. You just need to relax into it. It's not to say that the work is over, but a good portion of it is, or, you know, putting it all together might be, you know, coming to fruition. Just allow everything to sort of blossom and take off. And remember to enjoy the journey. See this as an adventure. In many ways, just putting yourself out there and doing whatever you're doing is the beginning of your next stage of life. It's not where you need to like end up. So if you see it like that, that'll definitely help you without a shadow of a doubt. So my lovelies, if this, and I apologize for the interruption of the middle of this reading. Like I said, I had to rework with the camera here. So if this resonated with you, do feel free to give me a thumbs up. I love hearing from you guys in the comments too. And obviously do feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. It definitely helps out the channel. Hit that like button so we can get you uploaded, get you these beautiful readings quickly and easily. And of course, check out the beautiful unicorn course going on underneath. Well, it's not going on underneath, but the details are going on underneath. Sign up and have some fun with us. Until we meet again, stay safe and sane, my lovelies. Pile one, I'm really excited for your journey. Please, please, please take everything you have and enjoy this journey. You have earned it. It's wonderful. Okay there, pile two. If you chose the protective icon here, this, oh, let's show you, then this is you. So as a reminder, this is your enchanted unicorn message, your foundational message here. We also have this beautiful candle, which is also for activation. It can be for helping to release and also bringing in a magnetic abundant energy, because we have the healing source on there, as I call it now. It's what is it? The healing oil that I made. Healing source, we'll go with that. So let's have a look at your messages. So we'll go with the unicorn ones first. All souls, life is meant to be enjoyed. Look at that colorful, beautiful unicorn right there. And then we have rainbow, feel at peace here. And then we have justice, Athena here. That's a beautiful card. And then we have the Eight of Cups reversed. So the first thing that I'm seeing, pile two, you have something in common with pile one. A little bit of a different energy though. Please be good to yourself. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And if you feel as though you're not doing enough, or you're not showing up in the way that you truly want to. As long as you are responsible for your own energy and doing what it is that you need to do, you are doing enough right now. And that's important message, the most magical message that I'm getting for you right now. There is a part of you that is trying to balance and deal with the energy of the world, shed the old, move into your renewed self, because there's a lot of activations, a lot of things that have been going on for you. But at the same time, it's taken you out of the world at large. Now, part of that is obviously a lot of people have been taken out from the world at large because of what's going on. We're not as interconnected as we used to be. So that's kind of obvious. But you are actually taken out from the world right now because of the cocoon stage that you've been in. And your responsibility is to yourself right now. Now, that may sound selfish, but it really isn't. If everybody stayed with their own energy and was really responsible for absolutely all aspects of it, then this world would definitely be a better place. So I want to reiterate and I want to be clear that whatever is going on with you, it is enough. You are doing the work. I know that what you want to do in your mind might be bigger and grander, and you will get out there and you will do it. But whatever it is that you're doing is making a difference. I know it's really hard to sort of be on the sidelines sometimes and see that. And see the world going on and what's going on, and also wanting to be part of the light. And a lot of what we do, you definitely have starseed and or sort of light worker angel energy. It can be very tough sometimes, because what we do is we do things in the shadows sometimes. Not everybody really knows specifically what it is. You have an idea of what you're doing. But when you hold the light, you're holding the light from your own division, from your own divinity. And it doesn't feel as though you're as included within the world. But whatever you're doing is huge. Again, whatever it is that you're doing in the world is huge. It really is. And, you know, it's often sort of not a thankless task, but again, it's difficult to, there's many different levels to being sort of a star seed or holding the energy of the earth. You know, sometimes you need to cocoon. Sometimes you need to be away from the sort of the grand scheme of things, as it were, just to keep your sanity, so you can actually have your own sort of independence and your own energy around you. Sometimes you have to take yourself out of the world in order to make peace with yourself and be able to do your job properly. I think one of the biggest things that starseeds and beautiful light workers have in common is that, you know, the way in which they integrate into the world can be tough. They can do it for small periods of time, be fully integrated into some sort of job or this, that, and the other. And they can do it for longer periods of time if they feel as though they're of need, if they work some kind of charity, or they're really fully invested in what they do. But, you know, at some time they have to sort of revert back into themselves to really have a sense of self, to really come back to who they are. And this is, you know, in some ways, the way in which we're set up. We're somewhat forced on some level to do that. But this is the time for you to take stock. Everything that you're doing is absolutely beautiful. There are ideas that are brewing, that are percolating there. Your guides want you to pay attention to that. For those of you who get too, not involved, but for those of you who get a little bit too open, remember to help Archangel Michael, other angels help you to regulate your chakras so you're not taking in too much energy from the world. That can unbalance you. That can certainly unbalance you, and that's not what we need from you or for you right now, because you are divinely protected. The other thing is that for some of you, and these are always general readings, but for some of you who feel as though they can handle a lot of the information that's going on right now, I know there's a lot of conspiracy stuff. There's just a lot of stuff going on right now. It's clearing the way for clearer waters per se. But if you need to turn off the media right now, if you need to protect yourself from it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The media is a projection of what it is or the energy that's going on right now. It's not necessarily bringing you the truth. So it doesn't really matter if you don't engage with it right now. It's a good time to get right back into who you are, your intuition, and being grounded. And if you feel strong enough to go through some of those, down some of those rabbit holes, like some people are going through with these conspiracy theories, with all sorts of different things, that's totally fine. Again, there's a lot of different stuff going on with conspiracy theories. The easiest way to find out, again, always listen to your intuition. If somebody's coming from an ego stance, and they're coming from a division mentality, I'm sorry you don't feel this way, I am right, this is happening, X, Y, and Z, then it's coming from the ego. It doesn't necessarily mean that that person is wrong or right, but there's maybe just a little bit of a connection cord. Take that cord and cut it. Just give yourself a little bit of a break from... Give yourself a little bit of a break from those who are in a sort of a fight stance. Now, there's nothing wrong with standing up and working for justice, but what your energy wants to avoid is the sort of sense of separation. We're fighting against the government, we're fighting against this. The minute you start fighting against something like that, especially like the establishment or the patriarchy or whatever, it's that they still have your energy. There's no need to fight. They can't control you. If you're part of that system, there's lots of things that you can do. So really removing yourself at this time and really figuring out what it is that you stand for, and how it is that you're going to help, and how you're holding the light on your own, doing this your own way, sort of out of the limelight, as it were, right now is totally fine. But this is, you're getting ready, your stance is getting ready, your strength, your stamina is getting ready for you to step into the limelight and do other stuff. So while you're there, know that you're doing enough. Know that you're holding space for people, for folks. Know that your energy is being received. Know that you're doing your best. It's really important for you to do that. There's an aspect of your personality that really understands that you are going to be out on the front lines. For want of a better word, we've already said it, fighting the good fight, but and you will be out there doing that. If you're not doing that right now, you are doing enough by really reflecting in and being completely responsible. Now, if the way in which you're doing it is, looking at everything, deciphering everything, what's true, what isn't, that's totally fine. Again, if your energy gets too immersed in that, just, cut those cords, ask Archangel Michael or other angels to come in and just clear out the old, release, and make sure that you're not taking in too much from the outside world, especially media. It's not there right now necessarily to support the truth. So just, even though we know this on an intrinsic level, it can still seep in there, and and all of that stuff. You can be hard on yourself, and when there's other reasons to be hard on yourself, it sort of piles up, and before you know it, you can have one great day and you wake up the next day and you're really blue, you're really down, and you don't really know why. It's because all that energy's been seeping in there, and you need to direct it out. So you have the protection. Let's see what we have here with the unicorn oracle cards here too. Soul purpose. Act on your soul purpose today. Absolutely. And we're saying that no matter what it is that you're doing, you are acting on that soul purpose. It's important for you to understand that you are doing your very best right now. And also, the efforts that you're making may not be as visible to the eye as you feel as though they should be. But I promise you, you're holding space. The fact that your energy is able to go up and down simultaneously, in a matter of minutes, or one day you're up, one day you're down, just shows you the work that you're doing. The level of work, the holding of the light that you're taking upon yourself. This is not a small amount of work that you're doing. So just be easy on yourself, and click back into the inner child if you can. It's easy to take things very seriously. It's easy to want to get to the truth and get to the root of everything, because we want to sort everything out. There's nothing to sort out anymore. It's all been driven out. Let it go. Let it drive out. Some people want want to be part of that driving out, let him do that. That's fine. It's better to watch on the sidelines and just let it drivel out. I think that's a better way to do, instead of getting all head up about everything that's going on. But you do you, obviously. Let's see what else we have with the moon cards too. Growth. We have that. And let's get one more card for you from this deck too. And discernment, absolutely. That's exactly what we've been saying. You know, use your discernment about what you're taking on right now, what energy you're taking on, because sometimes you can use that to reflect indirectly or directly upon yourself and come up with the false conclusion that you're not growing, that you're not doing enough. It keeps coming back to this. You're doing an incredible amount of work. All you need to do is really go back and do this exercise for yourself, pile two. Go back and really look at who you were a year ago, who you were 5 years ago. I promise you, you're absolutely going to see this beauty in all of you, and how far you've come and how much you've grown, and how much that is appreciated. You know, a lot of your work has been done, again, sort of on the sidelines, as it were. And a lot of people have sort of come away in, especially I'd say in the last 16 months or the last year, a lot of people have sort of fallen away from you. So it's almost as if there aren't as many witnesses as possible to see how much you've grown. And it's not that you're constantly looking for validation. That's not what it is. But everybody needs a check-in every now and again. You're doing this on your own way. You've always been a sort of a maverick. You've always wanted to do things on your own way. That's not the part that you're, you know, that's worrying you necessarily. It's just that the type of growth and being out there, and how you're integrated and not. And you also, on many levels, do intrinsically understand that, you know, we're not supposed to be integrated as much as we normally were. And you do understand that, but you have such a large heart. You want to be out there and doing the best that you can. Don't compare yourself to others at this time. Everybody has their own bridge to cross. Everybody has their own path in this lifetime to move forward. So I want you to stay on your path in your lifetime. Don't underestimate what you're doing just because you're not following the same path as others who are seemingly doing more. I promise you, your day will come where you'll be able to show that. And again, it's not for validation reasons, but it's good to check in. But what you're doing right now, and how you're visualizing and how you're holding the space for the world is extremely powerful. And, you know, your enchanted messages is hold on, don't compare. Have trust. What you're doing is absolutely enough. Hold the faith. Hold the beauty. What you're doing is huge. And comparing yourself to people who aren't doing the same work as you is just not fair to you. Hold the space. Be discerning about the energy that you let into your space. You're extremely strong. Some of you are extremely grounded, so you know you can take on that energy. But it does affect you in insidious ways that you may not know. If your energy is constantly up and down, you know why. Make sure that when you go in, if you are doing media stuff, make sure that you go in and work with your guides beforehand. They can go in and close and open your chakras. For protection means to let in the right kind of information, let in what you need to know, but protect you from what you don't need to know. They can manually do that for you. You do not have to do that. They can do that for you. So there's certain exercises that you can sort of perform to go in there to get the amazing amount of protection that you absolutely deserve. After all, you did choose the protection symbol here, the icon. You are protected, but there may be extra ways to protect yourself in this period as you're doing this extreme and beautiful work. So when you come out of the phoenix of the ashes, then you will be able to take that wisdom out into the world in an actual physical sense, in the way that you want to be now. But you'll be stronger later on down the line if you just hone in on this period that you're going through, the sort of cocoon period. Now, you could be out and integrated in the world and going to work every day, but still have an integrated cocoon period going on in your mind. It doesn't mean that you're stuck in the house. There are many ways to interpret this. Wishes come true. Rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. Absolutely. Stay with it. Without a doubt, stay with it. The way in which you want to be in the world is actually coming to you sooner than you think. And the work that you're doing now is absolutely preparing you on your path. So don't underplay it. You're doing an incredible job right now. And we have the support for you, and knowing that you are prosperity, a prosperous business with riches and successes. The way in which you want to help people, the way in which you want to be out in the world is coming to you without a shadow of a doubt. You will be integrated the way that you want. You are doing enough. This is not a down period for you, even if you are cocooning in your own way. You are doing work. You are doing profound work. Please, please remember that. Please remember that you're doing enough. Please remember that that everything that you are, it's meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Please do not be hard on yourself. And remember, this is part of your journey. I know times are tough. I know there's a lot going on. I know there's a lot of heaviness in the air, but do what you can to really connect with your peace. And again, getting back into that inner child, clicking into that way of seeing yourself 1 year ago, 5 years ago, really expanding on your growth, really being there, seeing how beautifully your path has developed and who you are and what you stand for, and really understand yourself as part of divinity. You are part of divinity. You're not just working with the divine. You're an aspect of the divine. So it's really important for you to hold yourself in this sort of rainbow action, this beautiful at peace. And for those of you who are on different junctures of this and you're coming out on the other side of it, you're seeing all of this play out and you're at peace with yourself and you're saying to yourself, I'm totally at peace with where I am at. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing the best I can, but I'm laying the groundwork for something beautiful, because you're laying the groundwork for something beautiful. But what you're doing is absolutely nourishing your future. And this process is an adventure. It's joyous. It should be gorgeously integrated into what you're doing right now. Again, it's not a small thing that you're doing. So just stay with that, pile two. Absolutely stay with that. We want you to stay with that. Whatever you're doing is beautiful. Don't compare yourself again to other people on different paths. It's not going to do you any favors right now. Come back to you. Whatever you need to do to protect yourself at home too. If you want to stay away from the media, paint your room pink, whatever you need to do, that's fine. You can paint it black next week when you don't need that color anymore. But look after you. Put your energy first. Sometimes with your, the way in which we're working with justice right now is, not putting other people first, and that is totally fine. That's the way we should be doing, putting the rights of other people and definitely looking at our own privilege. But our own space needs to come first too. We need to know who we are. We need to put ourselves into this room where we can disassemble what no longer works, whether that's privilege, what else doesn't work, so we can integrate that, release it, and become the best person we can be. This is the job that you're doing. Please, please have a joyous sense of this if you possibly can. Tread lightly, enjoy whatever is going on, even to the point that I know things seem dark, but this is the darkness before the beauty comes in. Enjoy that. Know that it's not staying. Whatever is crumbling needed to crumble. It wasn't working anyway. You've got this. You've absolutely got this. That is your pep talk, pal, too. You've absolutely got this. And, whatever you're going to do in the world is going to be absolutely and profoundly gorgeous. And this is the stepping stone for you to figuring that out. So I hope we gave you some practical advice and just gave you a little bit of support there in pile two. So if this resonated with you, do feel free to give me a thumbs up. I would absolutely love that. And do absolutely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click that bell icon. I cannot tell you what it does to help this channel get out there and to support other people too. And if you feel inclined, obviously we would love to have you do the unicorn course with us and be part of that beautiful energy too. Again, always listen to your intuition and see where it leads you. All right, pile two, you take care of yourself. You stay in your protective mode and also doing the wonderful work that you're doing. And we will check back in with you very, very soon. Until we meet again, you take care now. Stay safe and safe. Okay, pile three, if you chose the beautiful Moon Magic icon here, then these are your cards, your messages from the Enchanted Unicorn realm. So we have your foundational messages here, and of course don't forget that this is a healing candle. You can either project what you want to release or bring in abundance and healing We have the beautiful candle that was dressed under the full moon. Well, I made the oil under the full moon, and it was an eclipse that month too, so it's very powerful. However you want to use these sessions are totally up to you, but they are set up for activation and healing, as well as like grounded advice and support. So let's get into your reading. Sorry if you can see my cat's butt. She definitely just plopped herself down there, so she's part of this reading too. All right, so we have Vessel. Admit your true feelings. That's the first one. This is such a fun deck. It really is. And Water Wheel. End the struggle. Okay. So we also have the Queen of Cups. Oh, this is a lovely reading. And we have the Temptation, which is the devil here. The devil. And it's upside down. God love him. Well, you probably wouldn't like that. God love him. But anyway, a quip on that. So what I'm seeing for you, Pile 3, is you're coming out on the other side. And normally even if you're resonating with these messages, you know, some people they're general messages, so you might be at different times coming into this energy, coming out on the other side of this energy, we shall see. But, you know, there's been a real discerning process for you, this real understanding of who you are and what you're going to put up with. Now, some of you may have been having some really intense dreams recently, and those dreams can really be showing you some stuff. So, you know, they're either coming in from, some of it's from your subconscious, your higher self is showing you physicalities, what they want you to take care of. But some of them are from your guides and ancestors too. The main question that I'm getting here, or the main thing that I'm getting here, oh, and she's on the move. She's on the move. All right, Lily, just come on. Lily, there you go. And she's off. All right. She's all settled. It's Lily the cat, everyone. Welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. So the main thing that I'm getting for you is that really how much you put up with, and your beautiful messages from the Unicorn Enchanted realm is to make sure that you're getting what it is that you deserve. You deserve the world. You deserve so much brilliance and so much beauty. I feel as though you have an expansive nature and you always want the best for other people. Absolutely. When it comes for yourself, you settle more than you really know, probably. You know, like for instance, you know, if you're looking at houses online, stuff to buy, you'll look at stuff in your price range. Yeah, that's fine for now. That's great. Dare to dream. Look at the $2-3 million houses. Oh no, you know, there's no point in wasting my time. Well, there is a chance that why can't you own a place like that? Why can't you have a place like that at some time in your life? The universe, your expanded universe here, is asking you to really level up. Really, the way in which I want to be really clear about the articulation here, the way in which the divine sees you and the way in which you see yourself needs to sort of level out and balance. What you think you physically deserve in this world versus what you think you can get are two different things. And they really want you to understand that you've been through so much and you're really on the other side of this at the same time too. So again, most of you have really come from this activation process the last 18 months, particularly the last 6 months. You may have had ups and downs and coming backwards and forwards. A cleansing has been happening on every level of your life. You may be seeing it on the exterior. A lot of, you know, so what you considered opportunities are falling aside, and that wasn't the right one for you, or people are leaving your life. And even though, you know, if you're honest, that's totally fine that they can leave, but it's still leaving a little bit of that emptiness. But really, at the end of the day, there's been a complete cleansing on every level. So you really understand that you're being prepped for a higher version of yourself. So a lot of your habits could have shifted. The way in which you dealt with or didn't deal with life has fallen away. You know, your taste in food, your taste in music, everything could have shifted. The way in which you see yourself is different. When you do see people, people may notice the difference in you and be commenting on how different you look, or how much lighter you look, or how much lighter you feel. You may have days where you still feel as though you're carrying the weight of the world, and that is totally understandable, especially in these times. So be easy on yourself when you have those days. Really lighten up and click into that inner child when you have those days. Go off and skip and draw and do whatever you need to do. There are ways to shift your perspective pretty much immediately, instead of trying to take it on or evaluate how you feel or go through all of that. Just really do what you can to click out of it as soon as possible. Your power is coming back in a completely different way. And for some of you, and these are general readings, for some of you who are feeling as though they have been disempowered recently because everything that they were doing before no longer applies, it doesn't work anymore, everything's shifting, so that's a little confusing for you. Sorry, my cat. Just bear in mind the cycles of the moon, everything again is shifting for you. Hold on just a little bit longer. If you're really over connected to the phase of everything releasing, then you're really going to be in the mindset of loss. If you're really looking for, and really on the sidelines of watching everything release, sort of with the energy of awe, then you'll realize that new things are coming in. You've ended a lot of the struggle here. And also there's a lot of things that you realize in your life that you've put up with, a lot of things that you wish that you had said, ways that you had handled things so you could have protected your energy, or you could have stood up for yourself completely differently. If old situations are coming up where you're like, oh, I wish I had said this and that, say it, not to the person, but you can say it and release it and get on with it. The way in which you are standing for yourself is completely different. Now, the way in which you will stand for others too will be completely different. The way in which you use your words, your truth, is completely different. You're not coming from a sense of the ego anymore. Remember to tap back into your power, even if you feel as though your power is being delivered differently, or you don't have the same connection to your power. You do. There's just other ways to connect with it, but far more ways to connect with it profoundly. Again, watch your dreams. If they're telling you that you're settling in any way, and we can settle in very, very, very small ways and in very, very big ways. These are general readings. You know how you're settling. You're settling in the way that you allow people to treat you, or you have done in the past. You're settling for what you really think that you, versus what it is you truly want. There are so many ways that we sort of settle, and in small, meaningful ways, but really at the end of the day, it seems like we're being practical. I'm going to put my energy out in this sphere because this is what I can afford. This is what I think I can get. But you've done so much in the past to create your power. You've done so much to turn around the negative into the positive. You've really looked at and allowed things and people, and even though it was painful, you allowed them. You allowed yourself to really look at what wasn't working, and when you put your foot down, you really did. So your message from the Enchanted unicorn world is to sort of enlighten up, to really to reach for those stars. You've done the work so you can get to this point. It's just really a matter of you putting yourself out there and saying, okay, this is what I would have gone for or settled for a year ago, but this is what I actually want. And if you don't know specifics, that's fine. Just keep a really expansive world point view. The universe doesn't care if you ask for $1 or 1 million. It's whether you believe that you deserve the million. That's the difference between you receiving the $1 and the million. So for you, it's like you're coming out of this sort of ending of the struggle. A lot of things are starting to move, somewhat effortlessly, and you're just asking to sort of tweak a little bit with that perspective and make sure that that magical mindset is exactly where it needs to be, to reflect where you truly are. And where you truly are is further on to where you think you are. So we have the silence. Be still, for all the answers lie in the silence. I feel as though, this is a general reading, but I feel as though most of you have been doing this work. Most of you know that it comes from within. Most of you have been working with your inner self, with your cycle, with the cycles of your life, and knowing who it is that you are. And I feel as though, if you're not completely clear about what it is that you want, the other thing that could be going on is that now that you have come out on the other side, you've activated, people have left, you're now at this new sphere where you're like, you don't want what you thought you wanted, everything's brand new, and it could be a little bit confusing, dare say, a little frustrating for you because you're like, oh, I wanted this, that, and the other, and now I want this. Well, you can change and tweak and change your perspective at any time. It's up to you to do that. You have every right to do that. And you can take in aspects of what you think you wanted and just give the expansiveness around it and just go for something, you know, either completely different or much bigger. Or you can say to the universe, you know who I am, I know who I am, what is it that I want? As long as it reflects my true heart, your intuition will let you know what it is and what path you want to go down. Now, it could be a quirky, off the beat kind of path. I don't really know why I'm doing this, why this thought, this idea just came into my head. But follow those thoughts and ideas. Watch your dreams again. A lot of information is coming to you. And, you know, and the thing is like, if you embrace that, the quirkiness, the thinking outside of the box may take you with those baby steps and lead you to what it is that you actually wanted. But you're getting there in a far more unique, fun way. So yeah, I think, you know, the understanding of knowing yourself as a vessel, as a human vessel, and what we put into ourselves, our thoughts, our food, everything, has a vibration. You really do understand that. And also you do understand that the energy that you've allowed into your life before, again, don't be hard on yourself for situations that you put yourself in before, because you're never going to go back to those again. And the ways in which you coped before, some kinds of slight addictions or needing to numb, or, you know, the sort of the fantastical element of life, just sort of getting lost in that and maybe moving a little bit into apathy, sort of numbing. You know, we all get lost in Netflix every now and again, especially now. And there's intrinsically nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you've used that at certain parts of your life just to sort of negate other parts and just to cope with where you're at. And again, that was totally fine. There's no judgment. That's where you were then. But you're no longer looking to that anymore. Those aren't appealing to you anymore. They're not even working for you anymore. So you're looking to replace that time and space with something else. Give yourself the patience to find out what works for you now. You may not have sort of skipped onto the next, you know, you're walking over the bridge. You may not be quite on the other side yet, but this is the exciting time where you get to decide what to fill your life with. And again, what it is that you want, with this expansiveness mode, with this beauty, without compromising. It's gorgeous. So wisdom, absolutely. Let's see another one that we have. 22 too. That's a very powerful number, with the twin flames coming in. And sovereignty, absolutely. But the wisdom, the way in which you get to use your wisdom is very much up to you. The way in which you have your sovereignty, the way in which you handle your sovereignty, is very different. You're protecting your sovereignty now, which is great. And for those of you, you know, who have to clear out your throat chakras, stay with it. You might have had a little bit of a sore throat, moving through some of that old energy, coming into the third eye too. You know, if some people, you know, the way in which people spoke to you before, if you're not standing for it, and, you know, if you're saying things a little curtly, it might be coming out a little bit more curt than it would have been before, because you're just not used to really grounding yourself in your own energy in this way. But you'll learn that as you move forward. It's more important to let out what it is that you need to say. The wisdom in which you have is really gorgeous, but the way in which you articulate that wisdom is really beautiful. Whereas before you didn't have enough respect for yourself for people to actually take notice of what you had to say. They did, but not to the manner that they do now. When you speak now, people listen, because in the way in which you see yourself, the way in which you respect yourself, you've come out on the other side of that. You have this childlike, beautiful sense of self too, that's been integrated at a new level now, which cannot go backwards. It'll always be integrated at that level. You've been working on the inner child level. A lot of you have, and it's really paid off. Let that inner child choose for you what it is that she or he wants, or they want. It's important to let them have some big decisions now, because they can really tell you a lot about yourself in ways that your practical mind won't do it justice. That's really important for you. But I feel as though you have everything that you need, and your lesson here, it's not a lesson, your message from the Enchanted realm is to stay enchanted, to really look at your dreams, to really look at what it is that you're settling for, and even in small ways, ask the universe for infinite abundance. You're absolutely owed it. And remember, your journey and your adventure was about you know, being at that point where you could just have an effortless life, where you could just invite in this kind of abundance at a whim. You're exactly here. So step up and ask for it. You're owed it. I don't like saying, you know, oh, people are owed this and people are owed that. They take it the wrong way. They take it to the ego stance. But I can say that to you, pal 3, and know that you're not going to take it that way. And I'm okay with that, because you know what that means. Really, take that beautiful wisdom, everything that you've been through. And again, I think I said this in Pal 2. Oh, all right, kitty. You know, go back to have a little reflection, who you were a year ago, who you were 3 years ago. Abundantly clear that you've done so much incredible work. And even though, you know, I may have said it in this Pal 2, even though you may not have a lot of people who can recognize that right now, you know, you're not in and around a lot of people, or the people who have been around you for that long have fallen away for now. Some of them may be coming back with new soul contracts, but you know in yourself, it's coming back to you and what you know. Hold the faith. And it's not about asking for more. I want. It's not that. It's just that if you stand up and you ask for what it is that you deserve, you really set in stone that self-respect. Once you have that self-respect, that beautiful wisdom, you can help more people by solidifying that self-respect first. So I hope we gave you some practical healing, working on definitely the heart space, but the throat chakra, certainly those three chakras coming up, and your third eye too. Ask for the stars. You'll get them. You've done the work. Why not step up to get the award, right? So if this resonated with you, Pal 3, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. I would love that. And also do let me know in the comments. You know, I love hearing from you guys, truly and completely. And always, always, always consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel. Hit that bell icon. It helps the channel in incredible ways. Get out there and support and hopefully heal more people. And of course, if you are interested in the 21-day unicorn beautiful course, Get Back to You, Your Power, Your Beauty, Your Inner Child, Be a Badass, join us down below in the link. We would love to have you. So until we meet again, Pal 3, you stay safe and sane. Bye-bye.